Along those lines, availability has kind of been an issue for this team with the stars. Does anything change? I mean, if guys are hurt, but does anything change about the approach medically for your stars and how to maybe improve availability at all?
Well,
is there a way?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, look, availability, look, injuries are real. As Steve Lou said, you take away the two best players from any team, and that's a fact. In terms of how we manage them, it's to me, we just ask our players and they do it. And Kawhi and PG and you guys follow our team every day. Like, they're maniacal in terms of the work they put into their bodies. They do everything they can to make sure that they're ready for the postseason. And I think sometimes what gets lost is there's a difference between being injured and then what people term load management. Like, Kawhi had to deal with 3 different injuries coming off ACL reconstruction. That's not load management. And I think, everyone's an expert about someone else's body, so he was dealing with injuries, same thing with PG. The load management comes to when you're coming back from an injury, how do you manage it so to prevent further injury? We'll explore everything, but I think sometimes the narrative of the load management it's erroneous, because when a guy's injured, he's injured, and sometimes it's just unlucky. And look, players throughout the history of this league, as you get older and you look at just, Kawhi and Paul are both big, strong, powerful guys and the way they play, like, there's always a risk of injury. Some are fluky. And I think we'll continue to explore, like, every which way, how can we do everything we do better? But I thought Kawhi and PG, PG was a fluky thing, coming down, getting tangled up with Lou Dort, but Kawhi was in such a great place. Those first 2 games of the playoffs, there wasn't a better player in the world. And, again, as you guys know, the last 35 games, he was playing, at a level that, in the regular season, he may have never played at. But to answer your question, we'll continue to evaluate everything we do. But we, like I said, sometimes you just have to have some good fortune too.
Ty had said that, look, the good thing is we haven't lost a series when those 2 guys are healthy, so we know that. But because you haven't seen them together for as much as you would like, is the plan still like, hey, look, we just had this bad luck, but everything still circles around those 2 guys next season?
Yeah, and look, when we traded for Paul and signed Kawhi as a free agent in 2019, it wasn't for 1 or 2 years. It wasn't 3 or 4. Like, every year you have those guys, they give you a chance. Okay, and so it's about surrounding those guys to continue to improve your chances. And Kawhi's, he's a ceiling raiser. When you study past NBA champions, they have a top 5 guy in their team, and Kawhi has shown that, when healthy, he can be the best player in the world. Paul is 8-time All-Star now, so we're going to continue to build around those guys and look for every which way, and just like they do, like they're devastated that not only they couldn't play, but that they weren't there for, they couldn't help their teammates. And you feel it when you're injured. There's so many emotions that go through, because it's not just your own body and emotions, but you feel like you've let people down, because we're all connected in this. Everyone is connected. So, like I said, we believe strongly in both those guys.
Let's get ready for HoopJab.